according to value system, where people can grow in their own space at their own speed. We are calling for peaceful disintegration of the contraption called Nigeria to save life. That is what we do in this platform, and we will continue to do so. You are equally entitled to your opinion. This is a platform for public opinion. If you have a contrary opinion or you have a reason why we should not call for the disintegration of Nigeria, please feel free to join us. Make your points, convince us, and make us see reason. If you have a superior argument that you feel can fly, you have that freedom to join us on this platform. Wherever you are watching us from, in any platform, click, send a request. I will bring you up, then we will hear from you. But for those of us who are Biafrans, as you heard from our Prime Minister, more than 50 million people have already voted that they are going out of the contraption called Nigeria. You can't beat it. More than 50 million people. For anybody who thinks you can force Biafrans to remain in Nigeria to succeed, you must get more than 50 million votes. And that is not possible. As we all know, the Biafran people are about 80 million. We are about 80 million. And out of 80 million, more than 50 million have already voted for Biafra. Then calculate it and do the mathematics and know how many remaining. So you can understand that Biafrans are ready and willing to go. If you do not accept our self-referendum, you think it is a joke, please go ahead and conduct yours. I am speaking to the international community and I'm speaking to the Nigerian government. If you feel that we are just making noise online, it is not real. Go ahead and conduct your own referendum and then come and give us the result. We will be willing and open to listen and hear. So I welcome everyone that have joined us today. Please make it an interactive section. It is a very important program we are conducting today. Make it an interactive section so that we can be able to exchange views, exchange words, be able to send this message across. Don't worry. If they kick you out from the program, try and find your way back. This is the problem we have been facing on all our platforms. They kick people out, they withhold viewers, and they make sure that people do not see the program. So you that have been able to join on the program, all you got to do is to help us to share the program. Also invite those you feel would like to listen to us. Those that have a superior argument, invite them so that they can come. We are open and willing to engage them. What we do here is to engage in a critical discussion, constructive debate. At the end of the day, the decision remains yours to make where you want to be, what you want to do, and what you don't want to do. But we remind you that every action that you take has a consequence. Whatever decision you have taken or that you are about to take will have a consequence. That is why it is important that we come online and discuss these issues. To broaden your discussion, to broaden your knowledge, and also look into other aspects of issues, not just on one side, looking from different angles before you can make your decisions. For those of us who are calling for the disintegration of the contraption called Nigeria and the creation of Biafra, we have looked from different dimensions and different angles. From the amalgamation of Nigeria till date, the only solution remains the disintegration of the contraption, because you do not create country among people that do not have the same value system. Countries of the world that are succeeding, that we have seen, have only one value system. And that is what we are looking forward to. And that very dream and wish is coming to pass as fast as possible. It is coming to reality. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying. It doesn't matter what anybody want to do. That very reality is coming to light. It is coming to light. So I urge you to remain strong wherever you are. Wherever you are, under which umbrella, whichever umbrella is good for you, please stay there and continue to pursue our collective interests. Whatever you feel is right for you, whichever angle, whichever way you feel it is comfortable for you to continue to pursue our collective interests, please go ahead. Remember, every day I come online, I speak about unity of purpose. Unity does not mean that we will speak in one tongue. Unity does not mean that we must agree in everything. Unity does not mean that we will be in the same group. I am speaking of the unity of purpose. Our purpose must be one. What is that purpose? Freedom from the contraption called Nigeria. The creation of the Biafra nation for the freedom of the people to save life. That is our purpose of agitation. And that purpose should be one. We have to preach it, speak about it, announce it. Do not shy away from speaking about it. And that is why we're here today. And we will continue to do whatever we can be able to do and continue to preach this gospel, regardless of the attack that is coming from right, left, and center. Please, once you join this program, hold your breath. Once they kick you out, try as much as possible to find your way back. You are searching for information. The gospel is for you and I. We are talking to the world, not just to the Biafran people. I'm speaking to the world, to those who are not Biafran, to non-Biafran, to one Nigerianist. So our message is not limited to only Biafrans. It is for everybody. And for you to join us on stage, there is nothing that says that you must be a Biafran, even if you are non-Biafran, even if you are from other part of the world, whatever your ideology might be, whichever group you belong, as long as your purpose is Biafra, feel free. You are welcome. We are open and willing to listen to you. If you come with your superior argument, make sure it is backed up with facts and evidence. I bet you with conviction, we'll be willing to follow you up and go along with what you have to say. So today we have come once again to speak on a very important topic today. The topic we are going to speak on today says Fulani supremacy, the innocence narrative, Sharia power, and the value-based future of Nigeria. The topic we are discussing today, I take it again, it says Fulani supremacy, the innocence narrative, Sharia power, and the value-based future of Nigeria. It is a very broad topic, and we will try as much as possible to do justice to it, as we always do every single day. The Fulani supremacy is not a new thing. This is something that every sincere person in that contraption called Nigeria, every indigenous person, whether Biafran or non-Biafran, you can testify about the Fulani supremacy. They display their supremacy at every given opportunity, claiming to be untouchable. Not just that they claim, as far as Nigeria is concerned, they are untouchable. They are supreme. They are born to rule. That is what Nigeria has offered. And at the same time, they will come and they claim innocence, the innocent narrative. The innocent narrative is the one today that the federal government is in the front line sponsoring for them. The Fulanis who claim supremacy, they are the ones that are responsible for bringing up, providing all the foot soldiers of all the terrorist group in Nigeria. Call it the ISIS, the Boko Haram, the Fulani terrorists, the Ansaru, the Nieti Allah. All these, their foot soldiers are Fulanis. The destruction that is happening in Nigeria today, the loss of life, the terrorism today is carried out by the Fulanis. But at the same time, they do not want us to mention it. They don't want to mention it today. They are fighting so hard to create a narrative to make them look nice. This is something that the federal government of Nigeria is sponsoring with their own money. Money gotten from Biafra land, they use it to sponsor a narrative to clean Fulani from their atrocity. That is why Nigerian government is paying $9 million to change a narrative of truth. $9 million to change a truth that is very open and broad. The Sharia power. Every one of us know what Sharia power is doing in Nigeria. We know what Sharia is doing in Nigeria. We have seen many people lost their life because of Sharia. Many people lost their businesses. Many people lost their properties. In a secular country, you know the Sharia power. And again, the value-based future of Nigeria. When we talk about the value-based future of Nigeria, we are speaking about creating a country based on value system. Create country based on value system. And that brings us to the disintegration of Nigeria, which no one can be able to escape at this point in time. And the Janjaweed know it. The Fulani know it. That is why today the Sultan of Sokoto is crying already. Every one of them today is crying, calling out Donald Trump for trying to break up Nigeria. You can't stop it. Something that its time has come. There is nothing any human being can do. This time that we are in is divine. I didn't create it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't create it this time. Mazi Simon Ekpa didn't create it. No, Biafra created it. It is divine. And that is why you can't stop what is coming. So I welcome everyone who has connected to this program this morning. And thank you so much for joining us. Once again, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from around the world. Today's broadcast is not for entertainment. As you know, I do not come here to entertain. I'm not a content creator. I've said it several times. This is a truth section. What you are listening to and you're watching now is a truth section. If I want to create a content to be a content creator, I know what to do. I know what to say. And I know how to do it. But that is not what I'm here for. That is not what this platform is. Today, broadcast is not for entertainment. As always, this platform, I say it again, is not for content creating. I am not a content creator. That's not what I am. I am a Biafran activist, in case you do not know. A Biafran activist. That is why I don't roll with trending topics. I don't roll with trending people. I don't come here to promote individuals. But I talk about Biafra. And let me warn you from the start. Everyone that is watching me or listening to this program, I want to warn from the start. If you are emotionally attached to false narrative, this conversation will disturb you. Hear me once again. If you are emotionally attached to false narrative, this conversation will disturb you. Because what we are discussing today is not rumor, not propaganda, and not tribal hatred. We are not engaging in any rumor, nor propaganda, and not tribal hatred. It is power. It is ideology. It is about supremacy. That is what we are discussing today. And most importantly, it is a season that Nigeria remains unstable. The reason Nigeria has remained unstable, that is what we are discussing today. So while you are listening with an open mind, you will get the reason why Nigeria is unstable today. We don't talk about rumor, not propaganda, and certainly not about tribal hate. So listen to us with an open mind. I bet you are going to grab some information. Today we are exposing the battle of supremacy being fought behind mask of innocence. A narrative carefully constructed to protect an elite. A narrative carefully constructed to protect an elite system rooted in Fulani Caliphate ideology, led symbolically by the Sultan of Sokoto. We will continue to discuss. They will try their best to silence us, but we will not stop. Let me be very clear. This is not an attack on ordinary Fulani people. This is not about ethnicity. This is not about religion as personal faith. This is about political and ideological system. A system that believes Nigeria must remain one. Not because unity works, but because control depends on it. You didn't get it. What we are seeing today is about a political and ideological system. A system that believes Nigeria must remain one. Not because of unity. Not because unity works in Nigeria, but because control depends on that. On that, they fake preached unity. Anytime you hear critics labeled as tribal, haters, or divisive, ask yourself this simple question. Who benefits from silence? Because whenever you come out and you speak, just like we've been speaking, the Biafras have been speaking on different platforms. Mazi Nnamdi spoke, Mazi Samuel spoke. So many people are speaking. Anytime you hear critics labeled a tribal bigot, when you speak, they call you tribal. They call you a hater. They call you divisive. Ask yourself this simple question. Who benefits from this? Who benefits when you keep silence? One of the most powerful weapons in modern conflict is not guns. It is narrative control. In case you don't know, in 21st century, in these modern days, one of the most powerful weapons in modern conflict is not guns, it is narrative control. The Fulani power structure has perfected one narrative above all. We are innocent. We are victims. We are misunderstood. This is what you hear from them all the time. And you hear this from their elites, people in power, people in a very high position in Nigeria. With all the atrocities of the Fulani, with the loss of life that we see every day, what you hear from their elite is they are innocent. They are victims. They are misunderstood. But let us ask honest question. If this is innocence, why is violence always justified the way? If this is misunderstanding, why are patterns always protected? And if this is coincidence, why does accountability never happen? These are questions we need to ask that needs answer. Innocence collapses the moment power refuses investigation. You cannot be claiming innocence when you refuse investigation. The same Fulani structure that is there will refuse investigation, and yet they will tell you that the Fulanis are innocent. They are misunderstood. They are oppressed. The power of narratives. The Sultan of Sokoto does not function merely as a cultural figure. Maybe you don't know. The Sultan of Sokoto does not function merely as a cultural figure. He represents continuity. a caliphate ideology that predates Nigeria itself. This ideology does not see Nigeria as a voluntary union of equal. The caliphate does not see Nigeria as a voluntary union of equal. It sees Nigeria as territory. It sees Nigeria as territory. Territory must be controlled. Controlled territory must obey. And obedience is enforced, not only by force, but by law, silence, and fear. This, the caliphate is doing very, very well. And so many of us are not paying attention, including those who claim to be your political leaders. They are not paying attention. They play ignorance. Now, here is the critical question. Why does the Fulani Caliphate reject division along value system? Why are they so agitated now that they have seen a sign of the disintegration of Nigeria, creating countries along value system? Why does the Fulani Caliphate reject division along value system? Why? Because value-based division destroys supremacy. A value-based nation asks dangerous questions like, do citizens have equal rights? Is law secular or religious? Is freedom protected or conditional? These questions are the questions that the caliphate do not want to arise. And once people are allowed to choose values, the caliphate loses leverage. Once people are allowed to choose values, create countries along value system, the caliphate loses value. Now you understand why they are so agitated. See how they are crying online and offline. Let us speak plainly. Sharia as a state system is not compatible with a plural democracy. Never. This is not hatred. This is constitutional reality, not hatred. You know, each time when we speak, they will term it a hate speech in order to win you over. Some ignorant people will equally buy it, that why you are too tribal. Why are you talking about this? You are too tribalistic. But it is the truth that must be said. Sharia as a state system is not compatible with a plural democracy. It is not hatred. It is just constitutional reality. Take it or leave it. You cannot claim equality while enforcing law that privilege one belief system over others. You cannot claim unity while criminalizing differences. A future Nigeria or any successor state must be built on consent, not cohesion. And that the caliphate cannot stand. Because the caliphate is about supremacy and dominance. So now let us address the global dimension. If the world truly believes in freedom, if leaders like Donald J. Trump speak of confronting extremism, then the solution is not cosmetic diplomacy. If the United States, led by Donald J. Trump, is serious and willing, we are saying this because a time has come when suggestions are going to be put on his table. The suggestions will be placed on his table to take a decision in Nigeria. So we are saying, if the world truly believes in freedom, if leaders like Donald Trump speak of confronting extremism always, then the solution is not cosmetic diplomacy in the issue of Nigeria. The solution is value-based realignment. Value-based realignment of the contraption called Nigeria. Support self-determination. Rejects theocratic expansion. Protect plural societies. Stop rewarding ideological dominations. Stability cannot be forced. It must be chosen. Stability cannot be forced. It must be chosen. And for the record, when you hear the Biafrans speak, when we talk, when we act, when we make requests, it is not about revenge. This moment is not about revenge. It is about redesigning the future. Redesigning the future. Nigeria can no longer survive as a prison of nations. Peace will not come from denial. Peace will come from honest separation of values where necessary. It doesn't matter how long you prolong this. It doesn't matter how long you wait. Peaceful disintegration of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria is the only solution. As we speak, I said this many times that Biafrans are 1,000 miles ahead of others. Today, so many people who never believe in the disintegration of Nigeria are now beginning to understand. They are now beginning to understand us better. I have seen many confessions. People who said they never believed that one day they will call for disintegration of Nigeria. Today they are calling. I pray and hope that the Nigerian Trump will do justice to the situation of Nigeria and end it once and for all. You're welcome, my beloved brother Christian. Thank you so much for joining, bro. Christian, you're there.
Good morning. Morning, brother. You're
welcome, my brother. Darling.
Yeah, so well done. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so thank you for the continuous message to our people, and the message is penetrating slowly and surely, and those who refuse to hear or listen or believe, one way or the other, they are beginning to see the handwriting on the wall, and we'll be praying to God Almighty that that President Trump, as the days come closer, that the right decision will be made, because there's nothing more left to be said or do. Nigeria is just the inevitable thing is to let everybody go their separate ways and do their own thing. That is no any other way, So, and I like the question you put out there. Why are they these same Fulanis? Why are they jittery? Several occasions we've seen them come out to say that they are not afraid of restructuring or disintegration. But when the rating comes, when they see that people are asking for it, that is becoming obvious, then the same people are coming out to say resist it. Because we hear Shetima tell the Arewa to resist the division of Nigeria. So why? What are they afraid of then? So you see how the people, they think that they can continue to manipulate, to lie, takia, So that was a very good question you put out there for anybody who understands to maybe come in and answer the question. Why are these same people, people who ordinarily they should be the one, more or less like because they should be the one pleading for peace, suing for peace, and being humble, because it's looking increasingly obvious like they are the ones that can survive on their own, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. So then at the same time, why do they want to be the one to boss everybody around? It doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form. They are the ones who are not indigenous people in the country. We know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Everybody, including Obasanjo, everybody said it. It's historical that they are not indigenous in Nigeria. Yet, they are the one who is trying to be the boss of everybody. How does that work? They are the one trying to take people's land and impose their belief system, their religion, their culture on everybody, to marginalize everybody, put on everybody under their control. And at the same time, they are the one who know that when the country divides, they are possibly have nowhere or can't even make it on their own. So the whole thing doesn't make sense at all. So I don't know. It's a serious situation, but I can also understand that because over the years and decades, they've been able to use every instrumentality to put themselves in a position where they feel like everybody's under them now, and the country belongs to them. They run the country, therefore nobody can. No part of it can leave. Nobody, they are all captured under. Everybody is under in their pockets. So you can. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.